Hi guys, it's me Debo from Being Your Higher Self. I know it's been a while, and I felt the call to make this video because I was writing a post on this group that I belong to, that it's Twin Flame Universe Open Forum. This is a spiritual community that I found. For me it's a little bit over a year, and thanks to them and the classes that my teachers, Jeff and Shalia, had offered, I am finally being able to move through the deep traumas that I've experienced in my life, and this weekend was no exception. I actually have to face many layers of my self-rejection, and I don't want to bore you with all the details of my process, like my healing process, because there's, again, many layers to it sometimes. But I was coming to this place where I was feeling into every single moment where I felt rejected by people around me. Like I felt the rejection of my parents. I was born without them actually planning me. I don't know, they were just having fun and whoops, there I was. So when I do this exercise called the mirror exercise that I shared with you, and this is pretty much the only tool that helps you heal any separation consciousness that you might be feeling when you feel like you are separate from life, from the universe, from creation, God, however you want to call it. This tool is pretty much the only thing you will ever need to heal all those blocks to feeling your actual union, because this is your relationship to life, or to God if you will, is the same that you have with your parents. Regardless whether they are in your reality or not, you are still bound to them. So that which gives you life cannot be separate from you ever. So all we do in this journey, our life's journeys or spiritual journey, if you like that term a little bit more, is to heal our blocks from realizing that we are already one with everything that exists. And I was doing this same process this past weekend, and it wasn't until yesterday where I was watching one of the classes of Twin Flame Ascension School that my teachers were walking through the layers of this upset one of their life students had at the moment. And it was rooted back from when she was 2 years old, but it helped me identify something that happened to me when I was 4 months old. And it was this situation where my grandfather, my mom's dad, died from a heart attack. Like 1 second he's alive, the next one, stroke, boom, on the other side. And this caused my mom such a huge upset that she couldn't breastfeed myself, she couldn't keep breastfeeding me. And when I was tapping into that, when I was looking at this memory that was coming up, it reminded me that this wasn't the first time that I felt rejected by her. I actually felt rejected by her when I was in the womb. And because everything in our reality is a reflection of the content of our consciousness, I was then, mirroring it with the mirror exercise I already shared with you in a previous video. And I realized, this is a self-rejection. Where am I rejecting myself, and why? And I was realizing that I'm still letting go of layers of it. It's not completely healed, but I'm on my way. I feel that I don't deserve to be loved because, I don't know, whatever bad things I did in the past, like whatever crap I pulled in either lifetimes or in this one, doesn't matter. I feel like I don't deserve love, so even though I crave for it and I cry for love, I still have it in front of me and I reject it. And I put excuses not to allow myself to even love myself, like setting boundaries or doing things that bring me joy. So I was writing this post about all this in this community, in this group in Facebook. And I was realizing that it also resonated with a lot of things that I am seeing around, like when I have casual conversations with my family, or when I go into the group and I see some of the replies, or when I talk to potential clients is that we all find a way to make excuses not to feel good. And this is not new, we've been doing this for quite some time now. And I wanted, like, when I was writing this post, I wanted to invite everyone reading it to actually be honest with themselves and ask with, like, again, like with a hand in the heart, how long have we all been feeling bad about ourselves? 10 years, 20, 30, 60, like my grandma? And is it really worth living a life where you feel like crap all the time, where day in, day out, you feel depressed, you don't feel like waking up, you don't feel like you have purpose or meaning, that life, like, it's not really worth living if you're feeling like that. And we all do this when we don't really have the appropriate tools, so we run around scraping the surface to make us feel good. We buy ourselves something that is nice for just a little while, but then the effect wears off. Even if it's a nice meal and everything, yeah, you enjoyed it in that moment and everything was fine, it was nice and appropriate, but then that's kind of a fleeting moment. And I couldn't help but wonder, I couldn't help but ponder this question: wouldn't it be worth to take that money and actually invest it in something that can bring you joy and happiness and peace in a more sustained way? Wouldn't it be better to invest it in something that gives you back, and not only gives you back, but it also helps you actually feel better every single day of your life? Are your excuses, and this is a question that I ask myself very often, and I will integrate myself into that question, I will rephrase it. Are our excuses, excuse me, English is not my first language. Are our excuses more important than our happiness? Do we want to go about life feeling like crap all the time, or do we really want to be happy? And are we willing to do what it takes, because we understand that living life like this is not worth living, and that we had enough contrast, we had enough pain, suffering, we had, like, that's it, that's enough, that we don't really want to be living like this anymore. I know that's how I felt when I came to this community, when I found this work. I couldn't, like, whatever I was doing, I couldn't bear it anymore. I wasn't happy, I wasn't doing what I loved, I wasn't really feeling anything. I was pretty much numb out, because like I couldn't, like, it's unbearable. Why would anyone choose to live an unbearable life? You are not created to be poor. You're not created to suffer. You're not created to be hurt, to be sad, to feel miserable. You know why you feel all these things and they feel uncomfortable? Because they are not true to they are not who you are. They are not your truth. You were created perfectly and abundant. Like, look around. You won't see anyone in nature, especially, going apeshit about not feeling supported. You see the plants. Plants don't shake. They don't even frown. Like, they have the sun, they have the air, they have the water. That's pretty much it. They lose their leaves every winter, and you don't see them screaming around because they lose all their foliage. And the same is with us, the same is true with us, and just because we don't see that reflected in our realities, because we are holding, on to this belief that poverty is real, that sickness is real, that separation is real. None of that is. So I wanted to invite you to, I don't really want to, like, I get the tendency to talk a lot and kind of lose track of what I'm saying, but what I wanted to invite you with this video was actually just this simple question. How long are you going to choose to feel and live a life that you already know it's not worth living? There's like, I was noticing that we oftentimes we tell ourselves this lie that, oh, we will get better sometime in the future, later. Happiness is later. And no, happiness is right now. Right now is the only moment that exists. So you get to create the reality you want right now. If you want to keep telling yourself the lie that, oh, I don't have enough, I don't think it's the right way for me, I will just wait, I don't know, I'm not really that bad, I'm not really feeling that miserable. Haven't you realized those are lies and you are not even buying them anymore? That's why you keep repeating them over and over, and you every time you spend even more energy into repeating those questions to yourself, or like not even the questions, like the reaffirmations of a lie. No, I'm not that bad. Oh, it could be worse. Why do you have to settle? You don't have to settle. Don't ever settle, please. By you're just taking from yourself when you do that. Don't take from yourself. You can always learn to love yourself. That's much better. So yeah, I think its video is pretty much complete. With that being said, I will see you on the next one. And again, you guys, be honest with yourselves. You don't owe me nor anyone an explanation. You always owe it to yourself. So just be really, 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 really honest. And if you realize that you've been telling this lie and you've had enough, then you can make a choice. And I will leave the links for you to actually take the steps and finding the tools that will help you get out of the slump for once and for all. As long as you commit to it, as long as you commit to yourself and feeling better more and more, then you cannot but succeed. So again, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.